Welcome to the Detroit Cast. Mike and Jay. T is here today, of course.
Of course. Hello.
How you
hello.
doing, pal? Good to see you.
I'm good. I'm good.
Shalom, Biggie. How are you doing, Isis?
Great.
Doing great.
Yeah.
I want to first
Seriously.
and foremost apologize to T-Roy for fucking starting the show so late. I've been going all day today.
Thanks
And
for a
so
long
it's-
day.
Yeah, I know. You got to work first thing in the morning, and it's like, hey, bud, you want to hang out today for a couple hours at, I don't know, 8 o'clock at night? You're like, yeah, dying to do that. Thanks.
Yeah, like I said, at
So-
least the commute's not bad.
Yeah. It's been one of those days, man. It's just like, so much. There's always drama around. You know what I mean? And I try to avoid so much of social media and shit like that because I know I'm an emotional person, and I'll just be like, you motherfucker, how dare you? I'll fucking start blasting people and then be like, oh, I shouldn't have said that. He's a good guy. I've met that guy before. He's pretty cool. And, so I try to avoid a lot of it, but sometimes the noise gets loud enough and you're like, okay, since people don't want to read between lines all that much,
That is funny.
well, it's like, I just know, I've been in this business long enough to know that if you mention anything about anything, it just leads to more questions and more DMs for me. I've gotten enough DMs demanding to know where Jay is or where this is or who is T permanent, is this, that. And it's like, okay, dude, if I haven't said anything publicly about anything, why do you think that I would? Why? So I can get burned again and have someone go screenshot what I wrote him back and then post it for the world? Here's what he actually said. I know you guys do that shit. And so, there are certain times when it's not in the best interest of people involved to be openly discussing shit. It's just not. I mean, I would hope that we, all of us, have earned enough credibility over the years. I mean, I've talked about highly embarrassing shit and extreme drug addictions and depression issues and relationship issues. Openly discussed a lot of that shit with people that, I don't have to do that. But you would think they would go, okay, when it makes sense, when it's appropriate, you talk about some of that stuff. I think it goes without saying. The man shits on hotel room floors and lobbies and can discuss it, But with the Jay thing, look, Jay is working full-time as an attorney. Jay's a dear friend. He's a great fucking host and co-host of this show. I've got no issues with him on the show, but he's got different life circumstances than all of us. Is a recluse. They're not a recluse, but a basement living. His situation is what it is. Mine is what it is. I don't have kids. I don't have a wife. And so Jay has 3 fucking kids, one in college, another about to start college, and another one will follow soon thereafter. And he's more conservative. And so, we've been doing this 5+ years together. And so it gets tricky. The fact is, I don't lie to people listening to this show. I got a call 2 days before, Jay went to Florida. Hey, man, I haven't been on vacation in a while. I'm taking this opportunity to go with my. It's great. Go. That's awesome. We're coming into the holiday season. Most people are winding shit down for the year. Go. And then the day before, like a week later, the day before, I get a text, hey, man, I'm staying in Florida for another week.
Yeah, push it another week.
Well, I mean, in reality, for one, I agree with you. The dude has not been on vacation, I think, since Costa Rica 4 years ago.
Yep.
And his kid's playing this fucking soccer thing. And then the holidays, it was a weird timing where Christmas and New Year are on a Wednesday. So, I mean,
so we're going to only do a couple shows that week.
Why not?
But I understand to an audience, they just go, it's been 2 weeks, no one's saying anything. It's like, well, probably means there's nothing really to say. I'm not dragging things along. I don't know that much. I don't pry that much. The realities are what they are. And so when you've got an operating company together, there are discussions that take place and shit that goes on behind the scenes that is just not smart to be discussing publicly. And so that's the truth. And so if Jay doesn't have time to be here during the day, as most full-time lawyers would not, then, if he's only got time to do this many shows in a week or whatever that may be, well, then discussions need to be had about how to proceed. Those talks need to take place. Okay, well, then what do we do? Do we do some sort of, I don't know. And so that's where we're at with things, you
just
know,
figuring
and
it out.
trying to figure shit out and
There's
do
no
the best we
secrets or
can.
anything.
In the meantime, you know, we're here every day. T, it's been a pleasure to have you here. I appreciate you filling in. It's not that's a tough seat to sit in.
Sure.
You know, trying to figure out, okay, where do I fit in with this? You and I talking upstairs is a whole lot funner than on the microphone, even though this is a lot of fun for me and for you. And I think you do a great job with it, and the audience likes you, thank God. But it's hard. It's hard when you don't really know, like, okay, what am I doing? I just got off work. What do you need? Okay, you need me downstairs in a half hour to fucking jump. Like, that's hard.
Yeah.
You haven't been sitting prepping a show all day and going through the news. You're just kind of winging it. And E is in limbo. Like, it's tough for all of us. And, you know, instead of going and fucking blasting off on the audience when they get into the rumors, I saw this for 20 years with the Drew and Mike show. You know, oh, here's what's going on. And I would laugh at the fucking absurd, I got it from insider information, here's what's going on. And then just spit horse shit. Couldn't be further from the truth or reality, just wrong. No. And adamant. And then that's how rumors get started, and speculation and conjecture. We've all learned about that over the years.
It's nice
And
that they care. I mean, that they're genuinely
God they do.
concerned. Right. So it's a good thing.
Thank God they do. And that's the part I try to keep in mind is like, okay, if they didn't give a shit, if they didn't, you know, I got to be willing to take it to when they feel slighted in any way, when the audience feels like, hey, man, we sense something is different. Fuck you for not telling us. We need to be informed. You know, the ones of, I donated to the Kickstarter. Like, you have some ownership now in the company and demand, I need to see your books. It's like, no, sir, that's not how it works. You know, we're doing the best we can with what we have. I think we did a pretty damn good show with Dave Landau yesterday. We will continue to do good shows, and I promise to keep people informed as much as humanly possible as we go forward. Just know that prying with T or Eezus, those are the last two guys you're going to want to fuck with on social media or their personal. They're locked. You're not going to get anything out of them. Eve is fucking hilarious with that shit.
I don't know anything, so there's no point in asking me.
Me either. I'm the one you got to worry about. I'm the one that might fucking wildly speculate about something and be like, wait a minute, what am I talking about? That's not even true. But yeah. But I do understand the attitude of, you know, wanting, or when you do a show like this and you're kind of an open book on everything, that sets precedent for people listening that, you know, when shit's going on, man, that's what we love about this show is they tell us, they inform us. They know I didn't like the radio business, how it operates traditionally with, don't tell anyone when you're going on vacation. Don't tell anyone when something's shooken up, or if someone leaves, don't even mention it. You know, there are reasons they do that. But as a listener and a fan of talk shows, it fucking drove me nuts too. Yeah. And I don't want to do that. But at the same time, you got to be smart. You can't be, loose-lipped and potentially get yourself in trouble with that stuff. Because the fact is, Jay and I have been friends for 30 fucking years. Yeah. I love Jay. You know, I like doing a show with Jay.
He's great.
He is. He's a good friend of yours. He's a good friend of mine. I know his entire family, his parents, brother, sister. You know, there's a lot there. And I we'll see what happens, but I respect the time that Jay has provided here and the hilarious content he's given and the expertise in law in a lot of respects. He's just a good dude. And we'll see where that goes. And I know a lot of you love him too. But, you know, he's got to look out for his family. And so, you know, how much time he has to dedicate will be what we're going through. So, there. I said my piece. Have I said enough?
I think so.
What do you think?
I think you said
too much?
Yeah. No, I think that's good.
Probably not enough, but
do you want to add anything, anyone?
More questions?
You know, I guess all I would say is what you said. You know, man, I
repeat it all. E.
No, but like as you mentioned it already, I would just ask this. I guess I am so fucking open. I give my phone number out. I'll text people if they want.
Yeah.
Don't fucking send this shit in where it's like, hey, I'm glad that, you know, it's nice to see this thing with Mandy. By the way, what's happening? It's like, you know what? I'll answer anything you want to fucking answer about me. But, like, don't put me in this bullshit position where you know I can't fucking say,
Yeah.
I don't know, whatever.
Sliding into your DMs.
I give E credit. He'll jump into the mix like halfway into fucking 200 comments and just start swinging and holding it, bobbing and weaving. He'll and then someone's like, "Yeah, now that you're here, fuckface, what about this?"
And then
it's
I'll
like,
just ghost.
Bob,
I
leave.
will. Oh, I'll ghost shit. Someone made some comment the other day about me, like, let's not forget that E said licking a dick would be better than licking a vag.
Yeah,
or
you
something.
can't pass that up.
You did
And
say
I know
that.
I went in there and defended my statement, which I stand by the way. To this day, I thought about that more, and I stand by.
Hey, I
that.
thought
if
your
you were
point-
if you were objective for real, if you really were thinking about it in a non-sexual way, what would be more gross? Sliding your tongue up the shaft of a dick or sticking it in a vagine? I think the dick is less gross. If
You're wrong. Horribly wrong.
No, but see, you're thinking that because you're thinking of it as a male sexual
Right.
thing. If you came down as an alien,
If you can lick the outside of a body or the inside of a body,
Right. If-
Yeah,
probably
if-
go
if-
for the
if-
outside. I
if
guess
you were
that's
an
probably
alien
fair.
coming down, not a human male who likes that stuff, I think that it would be like, oh yeah, that's
to your
obvious.
point, E, okay. If you were an alien coming down and it was not in any way sexual at all, the penis was no different a body part than a fucking cheek, and you said you can lick a cheek or I can cut open this stomach and you can stick your tongue in there, every alien would lick the dick.
Exactly.
So I
These are
I
aliens.
guess you have a point, but that's not reality. So you're still sucking a dick, which sucks.
If you close your eyes, I'm doing it right now. I mean, like I'm licking
thank you.
something.
Oh, did you just lick the microphone?
sure did.
Fuck, dude.
You're gonna have to
That is yours now.
Burn
You just
that
bought that.
Thank you.
You will be docked pay for months to pay for that. Shure SM7B. That is yours now.
Okay.
Anyway, moving on. I was so excited to come and do the show today because we had, the NFL football players were great, and then afterwards, right afterwards on NBC, we got into the Golden Globes.
Yeah.
And Ricky Gervais, and I know
big day for NBC.
Yeah, it was. It really was. They had the late game. They didn't have the early game.
No,
did
the
they?
late game and then right into the Golden Globes.
Right,
I'm sure
right.
they just killed it for about 8 hours.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And the Globes, it was high anticipation from everybody about Ricky Gervais. He said, dude, this is the last time I'm doing it. And we're all just giddy before, like, oh, he's going to fucking kick their ass. He's not going to hold back.
So was too.
Yeah.
And he went harder than I fucking even thought, dude. And I know Ricky Gervais has been trending since that aired. Like, it has been an overwhelming support. So
Yeah.
you're going to read articles, and I can read you some excerpts from
Where
some.
they say that
where it's like,
Oh,
this was
my.
a disgrace.
wasn't even funny.
Not even, yeah, okay.
It wasn't
okay,
funny.
reporter, writer
it
for the
was.
fucking Chicago Sun-Times, shut up. He's getting overwhelming support internationally for his take. And the looks in the room spoke volumes.
Awkward.
The amount of memes that will be born from just the audience
Yeah.
at the Golden Globes.
Reaction shots.
Reaction shots of people like, Tom Hanks alone will provide probably 5 new memes.
I saw that one today already, of course.
Oh.
Yeah, I could hear it when I was highlighting shit. I could hear you were watching it again, like we're scrolling.
Yeah, I
through
actually
the
went
other
back
room.
and watched that opening speech again. It was
I
that
think I've
good.
watched it a few times already.
Really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I didn't tweet about it last night. I thought about it, but we were backed up, so I didn't want to be like 20-minute late to the party guy going, "It was fucking amazing." So, but I was glad you did E, and I loved it. You texted me right away, like, "Dude, that was awesome."
Well, it is funny. I mean, when you do something right as it's happening, you can get lucky. And the end of his thing where he talks about the Weinstein, I was watching it in real time, so I recorded it live and right to fucking Twitter with a hashtag Golden Globe. And you talk about that one time, like it was. I mean, dude, I ended up getting like 400 likes, 70 retweets or something.
Really?
Shit like
Yeah,
that.
isn't that fucking wild?
Because I did it right in the fucking moment, and it was
Yeah.
just simple. It was just like, hell yeah, dude, fucking killing it or some shit like that or whatever.
Well, I was reading Piers Morgan, and I knew
Oh yeah.
another British guy like Ricky Gervais, he was going to be all about Team Ricky. He's as fed up as Ricky Gervais. He doesn't give a fuck like Ricky Gervais.
Right.
And so I was reading his article, and it's great. He's like, you got the world's biggest stars flocking to Sunday night, the Golden Globes show to show us all how woke, worthy, and wonderful they are. And, of course, to attack their, go-to punching bag, President Trump. Meat was even banned from their dinner tables to illustrate just how much these kind-hearted celebrities care about the environment. See, we're saving the planet was the proud collective message spoken by multimillionaire actors and actresses who'd flown to LA in their private jets and been driven to the Beverly Hilton Hotel in stretch limos. But these selfless do-gooders left 3 hours later feeling abused, insulted, broken, and shell-shocked thanks to a host who couldn't give a damn about their hurt feelings. They can't say they weren't warned. And I would say, yeah.
I liked him looking at his watch every time. Like,
Annoyed how late it was
Right.
going. Like,
This is the first
which
award.
is so true.
Get out
3
with the first
hours.
award.
Why is that 3 hours?
It's a room full of the biggest virtue signalers and hypocrites in the world, Ricky Gervais said in a pre-Globes interview with the Spectator magazine. So I've got to go after that. And there was a lot riding on this. I think the audience watching, the 200 million strong, were desperate after watching years in a row now of these award shows and watching these self-involved, megalomaniacs blowing each other constantly and shitting on the country, shitting on your, whatever. It was like, well, Ricky Gervais hasn't done this in a couple of years, but boy, oh boy, he ain't got to fuck about none of them. He's the guy you need, and I hope he delivers. And I had to say he did it. His opening monologue of the Globe lasted about 7 minutes, 42 seconds. That was more than long enough for him to punch a gigantic crater in the absurdly two-faced, PC-crazed balloon that infests modern Hollywood. It was savage, brutal, vicious, and hilarious. Exactly what that crowd needed. Even if their shocked, frozen faces suggested they just stumbled into hell on earth. It was also what we all needed, which is why Gervais has been trending worldwide ever since to almost universal acclaim. The reason his verbal assault resonated is because it came just when many people feared the world had gone completely nuts, shamed, dragged, and canceled into supine submission by a staggeringly intolerant, radical liberal mob intent on sucking every ounce of freedom and joy out of life. We can all relate to that, right?
no doubt.
Fueled by their radical, preachy echo chambers on social media platforms that bear little relation to the mainstream thinking, these twerps have tried to enforce their narrow, extremely liberal views onto the rest of us and set out to destroy anyone that tries to stand up to them. They've been so successful that some award shows like the Oscars have pathetically surrendered to the bullies and declined to even have a host out of panicking terror, blind terror that someone might say something and offend someone. Amid all this, one star has stood out like a shining shaft of free speech, and that's been Ricky Gervais. He's point blank refused to bow to this modern day McCarthyism, ranting against it all day, every day on Twitter. He doesn't care all the flack he takes because, well, he just doesn't care. His view is that comedy is comedy, jokes are jokes, and those thin-skinned little snowflakes should simply be ignored. That's why he's the most successful comedian on the planet today. And that's why I was so eagerly looking forward to his performance last night. Do your duty. Roast him. I tweeted him yesterday. He immediately fucking liked the tweet. And we'll play a little piece of Gervais and probably get us yanked, but
Well,
whatever.
How much do I mean?
what
You
are you
want to just
gonna
go
do?
right to the end, or
Yeah,
what?
yeah, probably
Because
the last
end
couple
is-
minutes is where it really, him taking a shot at fucking Leo is one thing.
I mean,
about
the
dating
Apple.
young-
The thing
Those-
about Apple was
Oh,
awesome.
dude,
but,
the Apple part is where you pick it up.
okay, I'm trying to.
Gervais
Yeah, that's right near the end.
sprayed a machine gun of mockery at myriad other big names. Joe Pesci calling him Baby Yoda, James Corden a fat pussy, Martin Scorsese for his lack of height, DiCaprio for his preference for youthful girlfriends. But it was when the host directed his fire at Hollywood as a whole that he excelled himself. He accused movie execs in the room of being terrified of Ronan Farrow, sneering, "He's coming for you," which was just great. Then he suggested Jeffrey Epstein killed himself, and his people booed him again. He scoffed, "Shut up, I know he's your friend, but I don't care. You had to make your own way here in your own plane, didn't you?" Which is just, I know he's your friend. Ooh, he similarly said something about Harvey Weinstein later. I know he's your guy or whatever. Gervais even hammered his own employers for the night. The Hollywood Foreign Press is racist, very racist, and said most films are awful. Corporate giants he rallied against, dominating Tinseltown. Apple roared into the TV game with The Morning Show, which is where we'll pick this up. A superb drama about the importance of dignity and doing the right thing, made by a company that runs sweatshops in China. So,
And that's about where this is right now.
okay, yeah, you can pick it up there.
Verbal.
It's a pussy
She's
eating-
old school.
Judy Dench.
Dame Judi Dench.
Yeah, Judy Dench.
It's the last time.
Who cares?
Apple roared into the TV game with a morning show. A superb drama, yeah. A superb drama about the importance of dignity and doing the right thing, made by a company that runs sweatshops in China. So, well, you say you're woke, but the companies you work for, I mean, unbelievable. Apple, Amazon, Disney. If ISIS started a streaming service, you'd call your agent, wouldn't you? So, if you do win an award tonight,
God, this is awesome.
don't use it as a platform to make a political speech, right? You're in no position to lecture the public about anything. You know nothing about the real world. Most of you spent less time in school than Greta Thunberg. So, if you win, right, come up, accept your little award, thank your agent and your God, and
Fuck off.
so
Brilliant.
I can't believe you got any applause here.
it's already 3 hours long.
Look at Tom Hanks.
Right, let's do the first award. The first award. The first award is for Best Actor in a Television Series, Musical or Comedy. To present the award are a couple of actors off the telly. What can I say? Jennifer Aniston and Reese Witherspoon.
Oh, that was,
They're
dude.
really good.
I mean, it was a standing ovation in this household.
The best part of that is if you go Aniston and Witherspoon
Reese
come up
Witherspoon.
for that, and they do 2 awards. So they give it to the Rami guy, whatever, for the first one, and they have to come up and do a second one. And it's Russell Crowe.
Oh, yeah.
But he's in
Australia.
Australia doing the fire. And I really don't think she knows, because I don't think they know who's going to win. I don't know, whatever. He's not there to accept it.
Yeah.
So he has a message on the prompter. And
Yes.
she has to go up, and she's like, oh, Russell Crowe. And you see her look, and there must have been something came up that said, oh, read his thing. Oh, he's not
Yeah.
here. He has to do it.
I wonder
and
how that
immediately
went.
goes into this political, about it's climate change, and we got to do
Yeah.
all this stuff. And
Yeah.
you could see her just annoyed and cringing, like, I have to fucking
Really?
stand here and read this right now when
He
after
should've filmed
that.
right, he should have filmed a fucking video message.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you could argue, okay, there's some horrible brush fires going on there, and a lot of people are
Sure.
dead. If he didn't have time to get
It's
the
about
video
her
camera out,
reading it, going,
But
are you fucking kidding me? I have
she's
to read
put-
this right now.
she's putting this. Her and Reese, when they went up there, you can tell they're like
They were
"Well,
already uncomfortable."
This is easy. This is going to be easy to follow.
Oh
Like,
yeah, whoever was doing the first introductions after that was going to be
Yeah.
rough.
You know,
for them.
comedians always talk about, dude, there are certain comedians you don't follow. You don't want to headline after so and so. And I think Mark Ridley told us a story about, was it Tim Allen or Rosie O'Donnell? One of them was like headlining that weekend at his club, and the other was opening. And whoever it was like, yeah, we got to switch headliner here because you don't want to follow, what Tim is laying down in the middle, shit like that. It's like, you don't want to follow that where it's like the whole room is either giddy with excitement for what just happened. That was a shocking moment to those
Yeah.
people in Hollywood. And for Jennifer Aniston's a pretty cool chick. And Reese Witherspoon, I get the feeling she kind of is too, was probably the last two, Stick.
That must have been kind of crazy.
oh.
Really? No, like for him.
I
Would you
wouldn't wanna
really
go up
think
there.
No, but for him to say that stuff to those people in front, like legit, that is some ballsy shit. Like, I mean, yes, they're not going to get up there and kill you. This isn't like Russia or something, but it's still pretty
Is
fun.
that what everybody's thinking?
Well, yes.
Except the ones that want to go up there and say something.
The people in that audience who are used to getting their asses kicked on a global scale at all times are not used to someone in their face, live, by the way,
Right. They don't.
kicking the shit out of them.
Yeah.
And so it's not lost on Jennifer Aniston that 200 million people globally are watching. This is now not just about the 400 people in this room. This is about the 200 million people watching. And that dude just kicked our collective
pipe bomb
asses.
in their
He
fucking-
threw a pipe bomb into this room. And really, anybody that walks up there next is like, huh. So, anywho.
So it was crazy.
Where
anyway.
were we? And now to your point, T, now she's handed on a teleprompter.
She's got to read this political speech, kind of like, oh, Jesus, are you fucking
as
kidding
Greta
me?
Thunberg warned us, the blah, 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 we need to dedicate more money and reason. I would have just said, you know what? When they popped that up on the screen, I would have looked at the camera and said, are you out of your fucking mind?
Hard pass.
Tell Russell to fucking say that tomorrow morning to Entertainment Weekly.
Right, you're
I'm
right.
not,
like,
no.
That is like.
Not going there.
Yeah, she definitely could have. By the way, she.
Not my job to deliver his speech.
I forget what else was, but these actors, like, they make, the funny thing is, like, I don't know how much they practice these little things they do when they're of these little, playful banter or whatever. But, like, it seems shocking how many of them seems so awkward.
It's painful,
talking
a lot of it.
Like, and it's like, dude, this is exactly what you do for a living. You have a script, and I get maybe they don't find out what it is. Maybe they only run through it once that day.
Still, you're a
but,
professional
like,
actor.
like,
Wing it.
Yeah.
Christ.
Leo and Brad Pitt was like that. They went up to do something for The Irishman to announce it, whatever, and had some shitty, corny joke about them being, aging.
Right.
Yeah.
And it was like painful. Like, really, you couldn't even sell that?
I think they're uncomfortable. I think they're uncomfortable in a way that's hard to understand because I think Leo, if you hung out with Leo DiCaprio, would be about as fucking fun.
Oh, I agree.
As it could get. I think Brad Pitt would probably like that too. They're not real outward in the gossipy game. They don't. Leo's won plenty of awards. I'm sure Brad has, but you don't think of Brad as like he's the Meryl Streep of Oscar winners. You know what I mean? Like he's not up there a lot, and if he's not nominated, he's not there.
You should
And
still
so-
be able to go up there and pull off a joke. That's
But
all I'm saying, and not
I
look awkward
think-
doing it.
I could be wrong, but I'm going to extend the benefit of the doubt. I think those guys are fully aware of the money they make and the ridiculous lifestyles they live and are uncomfortable being singled out for greatness in their profession. What does best actor mean? What are you talking about? What is a best actor? It's just it's nothing. It doesn't mean anything. And I think those guys know that
I think
and
it does
realize
to them.
that.
Why else are they all fucking there? That's what they all want
Because
to
they,
win.
they need to play a game
They
for
need
the
those-
studios. That's part of the job is
Well,
promotion.
they need those
and
accolades too. Some don't, not all of them, but
Brad
you gotta,
and
I
Leo
believe,
don't.
Not
I
at
thought
that
Leo's
point.
reaction was great, laughing his ass off at that joke about him.
And you
you know.
should. It's not like he busted out some secret that he likes young chicks, you know. So good for him to be able to laugh it off, and that's what most of those people should have done. Not with a how dare I can't believe he said that.
What is
you
he
know?
talking about? We're
And the
heroes of
hypocrisy to
world.
sit there,
Apple
you know,
sweatshops. I can't believe it,
Dude. I
to
mean,
laugh at all the other shit until it comes around to your side of the table and then be like offended. Well, fuck you. Then you shouldn't have laughed at everything else.
wrapping up what Piers Morgan said, throughout this hilariously biting tirade, Tom Hanks' contorted face said it all. The most bankable movie icon of them all looked like he'd swallowed a liter of Tabasco sauce. This wasn't how it was supposed to be. This was a Hollywood Awards night. This was intended as another chance to remind the world how awful Trump is, not themselves. But Gervais knows that celebrities and comedians whacking Trump are two a penny, dime a dozen. But far rarer is the star who shines a light on the stinking hypocrisy of Hollywood itself, the place that loves to take the high moral ground, yet itself lurks in a sewer of immortality. And I think he couldn't be more spot on
True.
with that assessment. And I think those people in that room, if I had to guess, were probably used to the usual hijinks from him. He's going to be inappropriate, take a shot at Caitlyn Jenner, or he's going to make some. He's going to allude to a Jew reference to fucking Mel Gibson, but he's not going to call out Amazon, Apple, Twitter, and all these celebrities with the dude.
Well, that's celebrities. The speech at the end.
Oh,
Can we watch this one, the Weinstein one? Just because
Yeah.
I just fucking loved
We're
it.
definitely
so,
getting booted now, but yeah.
yeah, that's all right.
I'm not putting the. I'm
Netflix's
not.
Bird Box.
Oh shit.
A movie where people.
I'm not putting the what I'm doing is I'm just showing the audio for we're watching
Oh.
it, but they're just seeing the
Oh,
audio.
good call.
Okay.
Yeah.
See? Producer extraordinaire.
Thing,
Our next presenter starred in Netflix's Bird Box, a movie where people survive by acting like they don't see a thing. Sort of like working for Harvey Weinstein. You did it. I didn't. You did it.
the best part of that is.
Yeah.
Oh, was there more lefty?
Shit. Well, no, for some reason it cut out earlier. But yeah, when he just says fuck you or fuck off or whatever.
He says, "You did it, not me."
Right.
You did. 100% true.
Yep.
100% true.
I know.
You did it, not me, not Middle America, not the South.
You guys are the
did
ones who
this.
You don't
sat
get to
here.
stand here and gasp.
Right.
You gasp and boo like this is horrible. Hashtag Me Too pins and everything. No, you did this, not me. And it's just so perfect. That was the best. I
And then
loved it.
it ended, the very end. What did he say? Like, get drunk, do your drugs, and fuck off.
Is that what he said?
I don't have
Yeah.
that. I don't have that here. But
Yeah.
that's how he ended the
show?
show. Like, yeah, it was like, do
Yeah.
your drugs, get drunk, and get fuck off or
I
whatever.
didn't make it that far. I went to bed.
Yeah, I did too. Yeah, these just roll on for so long. Yeah, that's what the freedom. That's what it gets you when you're not playing into the machine. This is what Louis C.K. had bought for a while. By, you know what, I'm going to fund my own projects. I'm going to do a show, sell it to FX or whatever he was doing. But he's funding those projects. He's raising the money himself through different various means, and he's putting good content out. It gives you the freedom to go, yeah, fuck you. I don't need
Not
I don't
under
need the
anybody's
machine.
thumb. Yeah.
Yeah, and Ricky Gervais, if you think about it, who does Ricky Gervais owe a damn thing to in Hollywood? Nobody. He did the British Office, right?
Yep.
His show.
Right.
Sold the rights to NBC for them to produce a show. He just collects massive paychecks from The Office. He doesn't have to do a damn thing. He's never written a script for the U.S. version of The Office. He doesn't have to be on
I
it.
think he's made more
He's
off the
not
U.S. office than he ever did off the BBC.
Way more.
Yeah.
Sure.
Way more. He's making syndication money off that. The thing with like British television, they do 2 seasons max and out. They'll have 22 episodes, and then it's done. They don't.
You've never
they don't-
watched Doctor Who, apparently.
Well,
Like,
sure,
hasn't
there
that
are
been like
exceptions.
30 years or something shit that's been going on?
The American versions will beat a dead horse. We need 100 episodes so we can go into syndication, goddammit. We need this played on Nick at Night. We need this played on TBS for years to come, and then the checks roll in. So for him, he's like, all right, yeah, you can take the concept and write your thing. I'll take fucking whatever massive check a year and sit home and not be consulted, not have to do a damn thing but sit here.
Mailbox money.
Mailbox money to the extreme. And so his other projects, he stays in his lane, he does what he wants, he hires who he wants, but it just keeps him distance from that machine, that swamp. It's no different than Washington. The Hollywood swamp. He just stays out of it, and so he go in there, have fun, drink your drinks, do your drugs, and fuck off.
And good for him to not just tiptoe in the water, because you got to throw some jabs, you got to do some stuff, but if you're going to go in there, fucking go in with an AK when you absolutely positively got to kill every motherfucker in the room,
Yep.
except no substitute. Just come in spraying.
Yep.
Hit them all.
Oh, the looks on the faces just warmed my heart.
It's pretty great.
Just warmed my heart. And I found this interesting, though, T, and I wanted your opinion on this. Shortly after that opening monologue, right? What did Pierce say? 7 minutes, 42 seconds. NBC posted a tweet and said, the Golden Globes are on. Check out Ricky's opening monologue. Like,
Right.
they promoted it and gave Twitter high-def version of all 7 minutes, 42 seconds. Didn't edit a damn thing.
Good for them.
What does that say? They know, like, okay, we're sitting on a fucking social media bomb right now.
Well, what that's
Lean
also
into
going to
it.
do is take the casual person that really doesn't give a fuck about the Golden Globes and has no real interest in the bullshit, and then if you see that, you might go, oh, wait a minute, not the same old shit. Let me turn that on, check it out. So it's a good play for NBC. If you're going to watch it, you're going to watch it anyway. But if you throw that out and you get it in the Twitterverse, and you
Yeah.
can get that early and get some views on that, you're going to generate a lot of, like you said, it's been
I
trending
would be
for...
interested
Since.
in his to know like how much they actually like saw what he was gonna say. Honestly, like I wonder what he showed them versus what he said. If it changed, if they knew
Well-
everything in the end, I just would be curious about that.
I don't think he probably does too many, like, honest dress rehearsals where he's
Yeah,
running the actual stuff.
Yeah.
And I think Ricky is probably established enough and smart enough to maintain complete control over content. Like, and the other thing is it's live. It's a live show.
They probably didn't know he was going to say fuck off at the end of that, but...
They probably, well, not at the end, yeah.
No, it'd say get off or whatever he said
Yeah,
his thing
yeah.
was going to be, and then whatever. Go ahead, beat me at the end.
I'd like to know what their delay system was like how live that was.
There's always
Because
some
it's-
delay in that. You know?
Well, the people don't know how that works. They're like, oh, yeah, it was on a delay so they could dump this. Well, usually it's a 7, 10, or 20, 25, 30-second delay, which doesn't give you the time. If you ever hear an interview that's live and you hear an actual beep in it, like beep off, that is not even close to live. That was post-production and someone inserted that into that moment, right? So when you get that awkward 7 seconds where the guy's mouth's moving and no audio is being played,
That's just
and you're like,
muted. That's just dumped.
that is someone sitting at a fucking board there on site going dump,
Oh, shit.
and it just jumps back 7 seconds or
What
8
did
seconds.
he just say? Whoa.
Yeah, he's going where, keep your head on keep your finger on the button, and then bang, and it just jumps back 20 seconds and it just obliterates. His shit was not obliterated last night. It was.
No, you could
Take
know what he
your
was saying. In
award.
rally, you could know what he was saying. Like it wasn't. You're right. It wasn't bleeped and like pause
Yeah.
enough. Like because sometimes you're right. They say fuck and it's quiet for 10 seconds or something.
Yeah, or they say fuck. Like they caught that. Take your little award, which was condescending as shit, by the way. Take your
Right.
little award, and thank your agent and your God. Condescending,
Great
and then
jabs.
fuck off. All three of those were very pointed, deliberate statements, and then fuck off. If a typical delay, if you went fuck off, you would hit the button immediately, bang, and then it would chop back 7 to 30 seconds, depending
Exactly.
on what your delay is set at, and you would lose. Accept your little award, thank your fucking agent and your God. You would lose all that, but we didn't.
Maybe they knew.
So I don't know. I'd be interested to know. Maybe the delay systems are getting better, and you can, I'm not sure. But that would have chopped way more of that. We wouldn't have got that. The other one is when he was talking about Dame Judi Dench being at Cats, and she's
Yeah, well,
old
no, I don't
school.
think he said pussy.
He didn't.
No,
I think he said
Bush
minge.
Maybe.
British
Something. Yeah, I was
term,
gonna say
yeah.
it was something other than. I know what it meant, but it wasn't. I didn't catch the word.
Her lifting her leg and licking her own minge. I think he said minge, minge for pussy. He was basically saying, licking her own pussy. And then he was like, fur balls. She's old school. But yeah, that was all they bleeped though, was the fuck off and the minge.
I
But-
assume they did the fuck off at the end.
Yeah.
They got that one
Oh,
too.
yeah.
So I was highly satisfied with that and plenty happy with that. Like I was like, okay, he didn't disappoint. Usually I can get hyped up for something like, oh, this movie's gonna be great. It's gonna be the best movie ever. Ah. And then you go in and it's like, it can't possibly live up to what I hoped it would. Ricky lived up to
did.
what I
He killed
thought.
it.
And did you guys think it was funny what he was doing? And it's a question I asked for a reason.
Well, I wouldn't. Yes and no. I mean, it was definitely delivered in a comedic way, but the material was so brash, so hard hitting that
Yeah.
it almost took the humor out of it. It made it more, shocking than funny, even though it
See,
was
but that
funny.
didn't become more funny. That became
Well,
more funny to me.
True, but I'm saying how you could see it both ways. That
Yeah.
yes, I thought it was hysterical, and I thought it was shot. That's what made it. But I could see where the jokes almost got missed because of the point.
Yeah. I thought it was more important than that night.
Bigger, way bigger.
Honestly, I really did, and I don't want to like overdo it. Like, oh God,
No, but
I-
Ellen,
I
you'd never
really-
get that from Ellen or somebody else hosting it. They would never go that deep. He's one of the few people that would actually have done it.
Well, Ellen standing up for Kevin Hart when he got bounced from the Oscars, like that was an important moment for an icon in the gay community to go, hey, all right, enough. He made some fucking off-color gay jokes 10 years ago about if his son was gay, whatever. Beat his whatever he said. He apologized. He removed him. He's apologized multiple times. Now you guys want to drag him through the shit again? Okay, you know what? We can't be like this. We have to let people evolve and get there when they get there. And I think it calmed a lot of people down. It was an important day for that community, for the alphabet community, when Ellen stepped in and went, enough. Okay. He didn't host, but still, I think it was important. And I really think Ricky Gervais coming out that strong was kind of an important moment. Like, hey, pay attention on Twitter and on Facebook and see what people think of what I just did to you. Their egos probably won't let them recognize it, but I think it was
Oh,
important.
they won't.
Yeah,
Take it back a little bit.
maybe.
Yeah.
That's my hope. I read the Chicago Sun-Times. They had their editorial about it, and oh, Russell Crowe, he sent a message urging people to act against climate change. Ellen DeGeneres gave a killer speech. Joaquin Phoenix was as surreal as we'd expect. Okay. As for the host, Ricky Gervais was so consumed with reminding us this was his 5th and final hosting of the Globes, so intent on congratulating himself for being edgy and not caring the least about anything, so obsessed with taboo, bleep-inducing zingers, he forgot something. He forgot to be funny. And I was going, boy, I don't remember laughing that hard.
Usually
I
the
don't know about
butthurt
that.
ones say not funny.
Gervais set the tone for a condescending, smug routine by calling the membership of the Hollywood Foreign Press all racists. Out of context, but okay. Telling the star-spangled attendees, let's have a laugh at your expense. They're just jokes. We're all going to die soon, and there's no sequel. Taking a shot at your God stuff,
Right.
True.
Yep. It was hardly a surprise when Gervais targeted every showbiz elephant in the room and got controversial. That's exactly what the hierarchy expected. Let's get viral. Let's embrace the irreverence. Excellent, bravo. I wasn't offended by Gervais's subject matter, meaning she was offended by
yeah,
Gervais's
for sure.
subject matter. I was disappointed the content wasn't up to his usual standards.
Oh my God! Are you kidding
I
me?
couldn't disagree more with that
That
statement.
was as hard as it could have been.
Right?
I don't know much more he could have literally done.
Wasn't
Like,
up to his usual standards. In what way?
I mean, I suppose he could have walked out and just like literally throw his dick in some, Tom Hanks' face or something. Like, what do you? I mean, seriously.
Yeah, how do you think the
like,
women felt? Slap him upside the cheeks with his dong.
Right. Like,
Gervais scored a mild laugh by poking fun at Leo DiCaprio's dating habits, though that's hardly fresh material.
how do they describe what a mild laugh is?
Yeah, I don't know.
They didn't.
Yeah.
They didn't. They weren't in my living room.
No, it was not mild in my living room either. And I laughed harder at Leo DiCaprio's reaction. His genuine laughter, like, all right, yeah, you got me. All right, I fuck young chicks. What are you
Right.
going to do?
That's true.
Though that's hardly fresh material. From what? When was the last time you saw an award show and people making fun of Leo DiCaprio's young girl dating habits?
That's not the first you've heard of it. I mean,
It's not the
that's-
first I've heard of it, but
No.
do you think that's like easy pickings, cheap shot? I thought it
No,
was
not
fine.
for an award show.
Fuck no.
No.
I enjoyed his crack about a sequel to Sophia's Choice. That was funny. Well, I guess
Well,
it's the other
this
one.
one, obviously.
By the way, we kind of glossed over that. I mean, he just destroyed the movie industry. Just saying, like, every single movie is just redone, redos, and this. I mean, he really went pretty hard there too.
Hell
It's
yeah,
true,
he
I would
did.
like to see some faces on that one actually.
But far more of Gervais's so-called, quote, jokes were just crude cheap shots. His swipe at James Corden wasn't worthy of a Monday Night Open mic routine.
Oh,
I get the feeling there's a little something there between Corden and Gervais.
Maybe.
He's a fat pussy, referencing him being in the cast of Cats. I don't know that there's something there. They're both British. Maybe there's some.
He didn't
there.
single him out. I mean, took shots at everybody. So
Yeah. Let's see. The two popes punchline was lazy. No, it wasn't.
what?
There's been a lot of movies about pedophilia lately in Hollywood. The Michael Jackson thing, the R. Kelly thing, two popes. Fucking hilarious.
not lazy.
Not lazy at all. The two popes joke, I'm sorry, ma'am, you feel that way at the Chicago Sun-Times, but that was not lazy. That was ballsy, if anything.
Would she like a harsher Catholic kid fucking joke? Is
Yeah.
that would she have been happier if it was more?
I don't know what that would have been
outrageous?
either. Yeah, a harsher kid fucking joke.
Because she just says it's lazy, not that it's offensive. So
In
she
other
just
words,
wanted it harder.
he didn't go hard enough. It was
Right.
lazy.
Oh, it's like the Leo thing. That's just low-hanging fruit. Why would you
Yeah.
bother going after the Catholic Church again?
Yeah.
Lazy.
But going after Trump is lazy. Does she not see that every fucking person in Hollywood spends their entire day focused on attacking Donald Trump for everything he's done? That's lazy as shit. That's easy. You're not a rebel. You're not a martyr. You're not special. When 99% of your people are doing that and blowing you for doing it, you're not a rebel. You're not original. You're not taking a chance, a risk. You're the exact opposite of that. My opinion.
So brave.
So brave. Gervais's jab at Epstein was weak and uninspired. Was it?
I don't know, man.
Yeah. No, this
He
chick's
hung
right.
himself.
She's right on.
He didn't hang himself. They start booing. I know he's your friend.
The fly here. What is it? You have to
Yeah,
fly.
so you had to buy your own fucking private jet ride here. In other words, he couldn't pay for you to do it.
Yeah.
I know he's your friend, but I don't care. It's my last time. And he came across as petty and pandering to the anti-Hollywood crowd when he told the audience, I know he's your friend, but I don't care.
You mean shedding light on a serial child rapist?
Or no.
That's friends with all of them?
Or shedding a light
On
on
the
a
body count.
Right.
Or shedding a light on a serial problem of you handful of very small representation with huge platforms thinking your voice is worth more than the rest of the country's. That's what he was pandering. He was pandering to 200 million viewers that were not Hollywood. I think that's brave as shit to go into that room in front of those people who think they are the cat's ass at all times and going, you know what? I'm talking to that fucking camera where 200 million people don't give a shit about your opinions. And pointing out This was not subtle, and it didn't get past me. You have less education than Greta Thunberg.
That was
So
great.
they do. For the most part, most of these guys, you've got your Harvard graduate thespians. Most of them, Tom Cruise, never finished high school. Most of those people barely
Or
got through high
started
school.
college. A lot of them start college, and then once they
Tons of
realize they
them.
can get jobs, they move on. That was a great line.
On 3 separate occasions during the increasingly disastrous opening monologue.
A lot of Twitter,
Disastrous
Yeah. Wow.
opening monologue.
a lot of Twitter and social media would disagree with this person on what was disastrous. A lot of comments would disagree.
On 3 separate occasions during the increasingly disastrous opening routine, the NBC cameras cut to Tom Hanks, whose unsmiling reactions seemed to speak for the room and for many of us watching at home.
It did speak for the room, not for people at home.
For many people watching at home,
No,
We were dying. We were
I didn't
rolling.
see anyone.
for the room, yes.
Paused it, laughing our asses off.
Hannah can be annoying as shit, right?
I would never say that.
That's just not funny. And I'm like, well, you don't know funny then. Sorry, I don't know what to tell you. That's funny as shit. Our whole room
Yeah.
found that hilarious. Hilarious. I'm assuming your household, E.
Oh, I was laughing. Boisterously.
You're not nearly as funny as you think you are, Ricky Gervais. Yeah, my guess is, sweetheart, you're not nearly as funny or
Talk about pandering to your audience. you know.
yeah. Not that the broadcast was lacking memorable moments. Carol Burnett Award honoree Ellen DeGeneres conducted a masterclass in how to accept an achievement award. Tom Hanks, Lifetime Achievement Award winner, and Laura Dern delivered beautiful speeches in accepting their respective awards. Long after,
Ellen's haircut was terrible.
Yeah.
By the way,
HD's
I love
not doing
Ellen.
her a lot
I
of
love
favors
Ellen,
either.
but that haircut was god awful.
Yeah.
Made her
Sorry.
look like a lesbian.
it sort of made her and Portia look like lesbians. I got to be honest.
It's not even the lesbian aspect to me. It just was just
I'll tell you what.
really bad, in my opinion.
Usually female
IMO.
comics, usually hardcore, progressive, lesbo female comics. Not my cup of tea, I'll be honest with you. No offense. I love you guys, but not my thing. I think Ellen DeGeneres is one of the finest comics the world's ever seen. I really do. Like, career-wise.
Yeah, I
think
love
she's-
her.
I think she's been
Brilliant.
brave historically.
Very talented.
Very, very talented. I will not take anything away from Ellen DeGeneres'
I'll take that haircut.
stand-up.
Well, when you think about it was a great speech and award that she got.
I think so, too.
Really good. And when you think about going back to what year was that? I missed it.
97.
Was it 97 when her
she-
show?
yeah.
Yeah, when she came out.
Which
and
was we needed that. None of us could have seen
Well,
that Ellen DeGeneres was
no,
into
but the
eating
reality,
box, but
no, but it was so
It was
the
needed,
fact
though.
that she
It was
came
very
out
needed. I'm
and
kidding
was
you.
Okay.
canceled. You know,
I can't even believe- I
fired
didn't
for
realize
it.
that.
Yeah, lost her show because of it. Because we can't have a gay person on here. I mean, and look where we've come in 20 fucking years or whatever it is.
Right.
Gross. Bad math, but where we're at now. When you look back, that's not that long ago.
I was
And that's
actually shocked by that.
The funny part is, right? They want to go back on Kevin Hart 10 years and be like, "You tweeted about this. You're an asshole." Like, well, look where we were as a society. It was not prevalent. It was not talked about. It was so taboo to the fact that one of the most popular people on TV
yep.
was fired, canceled because she came out. You know,
And if you
it was probably
remember-
the best thing that ever happened to her career, but
Well,
She wouldn't have known that then.
not at the time.
No, that would have
ultimately.
been terrifying then.
But she became a spokesperson for it and a martyr, and
And she
it went from
didn't-
there. She deserves it all. I'm not taking anything away from her, but I'm just talking about as a society. Think about where we were not that long ago. She was the first
Dude.
person to come out as gay on TV and lost her fucking job because
Was she
of
the
it.
first
And
to
now we're
come out as
so
gay?
woke.
Like the first gay kiss, I think, was on the Roseanne show, maybe.
It was the first main character, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. It was extremely brave. Must have been extremely scary. And here's the thing that we all know as society about Hollywood. She was on the cover of People magazine. She was on the cover of Time magazine. She was praised on every talk show as being brave and what she's done for society by coming out. And behind the scenes, they're going, how do we get this fucking pussy-eating dyke off our network? It's not good for the sponsors. We got to think about Downey, for Christ's sakes, and Tide. You know, what are they going to think over there at Crest? They don't need this shit. They're family companies. Like, the idea that this woke industry is taking care of progressive woke issues going forward is so hypocritical and so comical that it's like Ellen DeGeneres is the case study in what it really. Ellen was beloved by the entire nation. Ellen did not have haters. Ellen did not force shit. It was the way she presented the storyline of coming out as gay was awkward, purposely, uncomfortable, purposely, scary, purposely. She did it right, and it was funny, and it was entertaining, and it was woke, if you will, at a time when that shit didn't exist, man. So you give her a lot of credit, and her fucking industry turned their backs on her, to your point, T. And, did she survive? Yeah, she came through it okay. But her industry was fully willing to fuck her over. Fully.
At the time.
Yeah.
And now where we're at, it's complete opposite.
And it's funny because guys like you, T, and me, probably E a few years after us, even in 91, we didn't give a fuck. We just didn't, dude. We weren't gay bashers. It was like, hey, man, do you. Do you? I didn't need Hollywood to tell me, oh, yeah, gay people can be cool, too. They're just regular people who like someone different than you would. Wow, thanks, Hollywood. Thanks, fucking, whatever, Home Improvement for teaching me that valid lesson on homosexuality. No, dude.
No, but it was so taboo and so not talked about and so behind the scenes that, especially was coming off the whole AIDS, epidemic and all that, where it had this huge stigma attached to it.
Who was the kid? I want to say Michael, but it's not Michael. White. Matthew White. Was it Matthew White? Who was tied to a fence or what in Texas? Gay kid, younger. Look up Matthew White, E, because that changed a lot of people's perspective too. He was beat to death. And you're talking about the height of the AIDS scare where it's like, oh my God, you shake hands with them, you get AIDS. We didn't mention David Stern passing, but a lot of people credit him with letting. He was the former NBA commissioner and died this past week, and a lot of people credit him with letting Magic Johnson in '92 when he had his AIDS announcement. He attained the AIDS virus.
Attained, yes.
It was something he sought after for many, many years, and he finally attained it. But of letting him play in that All-Star game, letting him play on the Dream Team at a time when most people thought, God, I shake his hand, I look at him, I'm going to get AIDS. Same with Diana, was it Princess Diana that was? No, it was Bush. Laura.
Oh, wait.
No. Senior Bush, his wife, Barbara. Yeah, thank you.
Babs.
Hugging babies at an AIDS ward, going, you know what? No, you don't need to be worried. Those moments, and Diana, Princess Diana too, did a lot to change that narrative quick, which was necessary. But Matthew White, was it Matthew White?
I don't know I don't remember the name.
Kid that had
to be honest
AIDS
with
and
you.
I think he was killed.
I mean, Matthew White isn't showing up as that, but
Type White AIDS Texas murder.
It's probably going to be
Should
a
able
long
to find
list.
it, E.
yeah, I know.
White AIDS Texas murder. I think that's going to be a pretty broad
it should
search.
come up, dude. Yeah, I want to say it was Matthew White. You don't remember that?
I remember the story. I don't remember the name. You remember? I don't do this shit. For a
How
living.
disrespectful,
Never
dude.
really.
Yeah. The Chicago Sun-Times ends their editorial here with, long after Gervais's stumble is forgotten, these Golden Globes are remembered for a more lasting legacy, singling out truly outstanding work in nearly every category.
Especially hosting. Yeah. A plus in hosting.
Only hosting. Yeah, that's what people are going to remember 20 years from now from this award show is who won Best Cinematographer that year?
Speaking of which, I got one last bitch. Can the people? I know it's supposedly they don't know who's going to win, but if you are going to win, especially one of the big ones that you apparently have to bring all 47 people up, can they not be at the back fucking table where they have to? Look, people have to move their chairs to get out. One of those people it took like 8 minutes for him to get up the fucking stage, and there were 14 of them that all went up the whole table. People are looking around like, who won? They're like, oh, shit, excuse me. They're like moving their fucking chair out of the way to let them by through the aisle. Even they were all like, we fucking won? Holy, what the fuck?
There's so much about it. And we've talked about this type of thing forever. But it's like, okay, if you won best, score, nobody fucking knows who you are. Nobody cares. And those seem to be the ones that have a trail of 80 people with them. And it's like, yeah, Bill Mahalski back here. I mean, His composing is
That's my guy.
second to none. And John Stevens over here, got to say a thank you to him, his wife and newborn baby. Thank you, James. You're like, you realize nobody knows who you are. You're basically a symphony conductor. I don't even know what that song was. Why are you on the stage for 3 minutes? When they start bringing the song up,
Ushering them all out.
they should start doing
Pierce
that.
Brosnan's kid, getting him off the stage.
Pierce, dude, that long-haired kid was freaking me out. I'm sorry, he was freaking me out. But they should start the clock when it's announced. And the winner is the composers for Frozen 2.
That's not fair to the 8 people in the back table. They had to climb.
Well,
they had
then
them in the
get your
storage
ass up
closet.
to. Well, they're announcing our category.
Time to go.
I got to go to the bathroom. Start shuffling towards the front. That 8 minutes it takes you to get to the stage, T.
Should count against your time.
By the time you hit the stage, they should be halfway through the fucking song.
Just grab it
you
and go.
off. Yeah.
Get your stage, thank
They
your
should-
agent, thank your God, and fuck off.
They get up stage to accept their award. The guy standing there presenting it should just be whipping it down to the fucking exit stage left. Here's your award. Go get it.
They need the guy from the Apollo, the broom man or whatever. He used to come out when you when you got booed off stage, come out and sweep you off stage. When your shit's up, have somebody just come out and rush you out of there.
E, tell me you found something.
I mean, just Matthew Shepard, I guess. It sounds.
Oh, was it Matthew
that
Shepard?
sounds more familiar.
Fuck. Maybe
was
I'm
a white guy.
confusing. Yeah.
That'll do it.
So what was the? He was a young guy,
Yeah, just like a kid.
beaten, tortured, left to die.
Yeah.
Night October 6, 98. He was taken by rescuers to a hospital in Fort Collins, Colorado, where he died 6 days later from severe head injuries. I don't know. There's another kid, White. I apologize to the audience. I was not planning on talking about that. So.
Yeah, goes off the
Whatever.
rails
But yeah,
sometimes.
he was a young kid, good-looking kid who happened to be gay and was, the idea of beating and torturing someone and
All the
it's
good-looking
just-
ones are, aren't they?
Yeah,
Seem
we're
to
all
take
we're
all the
all
hot
subject.
You're right.
We're all subject to that. T. I got to be
Yeah.
honest with you. So,
Hey,
yeah, go ahead.
you have an annual physical to make sure that you're healthy.
I don't.
You should. What do you do to make sure that you remain financially fit? Our boy Merk Leibovitz at LPL Financial specializes in thoughtful and objective investment guidance designed to keep your finances in shape. Call Merk today at 248-626-2000. Call him today.
Thanks, T.
Sure.
Creepswithkidstour.com. The comedy tour coming to town. They really want to.
It's coming quick now.
Yeah.
Seems like a long time ago. Not when Bobby was in here. Like, fuck, that's like next year.
Yeah, we were in shorts then. The pool was open.
2020 already.
But yeah, January 18th. It's Saturday at the Emerald. Ron Bennington, adore Ron Bennington, Bobby Kelly, Jim Florentine, Rich Voss. You're going to be there, T, right? You're going.
Yeah, I'll go for sure.
E, are you going?
I think so.
I'm going.
See if we can get you an opening spot.
I'm not doing that shit there.
Yeah, you don't want to do it with those guys.
No.
All right, come on, you killed it.
No, I haven't done it in a while too. So.
So yeah, Creeps, K-R-E-E-P-S with kidstour.com for tickets, and they've got some good sales out there on tickets. Take advantage. I know a lot of you don't necessarily know, these guys that are national headliners have big followings in D.C. and New York and Jersey and those that.
If you can make it there, you can make it anywhere, as they say.
Yeah.
So, these guys will blow you away. I promise.
They are very, very
Well, I'll
funny
say-
and very established. So please come out and support it and support this show. This is really the only show in town where this show is promoted. And so it's kind of a lot on our shoulders to help sell some tickets for these guys and prove what we can do. So
Yeah, it's
the more
feather in
people
the
that can
cap
come
for-
out, the better. So
I'll say this:
seriously.
I don't watch a lot of comedy because I just don't really care that much for it. But I went the time Bobby Kelly came in last time that we went that time at the Amphitheater or whatever, and I was literally fucking laughing.
Start to finish.
Till tears the whole time.
Yeah.
And I don't really go. I don't find stand-up comedy as awesome as you do. And so my point is, like, dude, if I thought it was that fucking funny,
Yeah, we went
you'll
together.
find it fucking funny.
We went together just to see Bobby.
Yeah,
and it was
hilarious.
hilarious. And I'm really excited for this. We went and saw Dave Landau over the weekend. So that the show that aired yesterday, the video that dropped on YouTube and Facebook and all that, we actually recorded Saturday afternoon. Me, you, and
Finally
he.
put it together with
Yeah.
a week of dicking around.
Yeah. And so Dave happened to have a show that night that we didn't promote because obviously you weren't going to hear it till the next day or watch it till the next day. But we went out and watched his show. And dude, he fucking smashed so hard. And seeing, him up there doing that, it was so fucking fun and satisfying. And there's an opener on, and this poor son of a bitch probably. What do you think the intro opener gets? 10 minutes,
Yeah, maybe.
and then you bring on your.
Yeah.
What do they bring on next? The
yeah.
So there's an intro guy that comes up every.
MC. Well, I mean, that job's the toughest job in fucking comedy.
It
really,
is,
but
but if you're dying a slow death, you.
So this was the MC, the
Take a step.
tweener, not the opener
I
or the
kind of
middle.
wish I knew who the because I bet I know. Who it
You
is.
knew the other guys.
Okay.
Steve Pierce
Yeah.
is one of them. He's got like 5 DUIs. We're bringing him in studio. Big dude. He's been to
Okay.
prison. He was fucking awesome.
Okay.
And then there was a gay guy, Travis something.
Why is
who
he
went
gotta
up.
be gay?
I don't know. Ask him. He's just gay
woke.
as shit. He's got like 8 brothers and sisters and all that, and he loves cock. So he talked a lot about that. And then Steve Pierce went up, and he was dynamite. And then Lando, you just go, oh yeah, that's the difference between a headliner and the
real deal
early
when you
guys.
see it.
But the fucking the MC guy, and I felt bad because he's like, oh, this guy's trying so hard.
I don't even want to know. Would you remember the name if you? I don't want you to say.
I
it,
could
to be
figure it
honest.
out, but at one point, I'm sitting there with Hat and Hannah. T was at a poker tournament trying to lose the family fortune.
Didn't go well.
And didn't go. So it's just the 3 of us. I got a couple hot bitches with me, and I'm sitting there, and we've ordered some food, and this guy's going, and it's like, oh my god, what is he on? 15 minutes now? What the fuck, man? Let's get the show going here,
know
you know?
now?
And it's like, yeah, he's supposed to do 12, but apparently he's doing 20, and none of it's really connected. It's like, okay, sort of clever, I guess, but not enough to warrant this much time in front of this big of a crowd. And at one point, Lando, he just comes from the back and he walks up. He goes, this is not my fault. I just want you to know that. And he walks away. And I was
Wow,
like,
that says a lot because usually comics tend to be nicer to each. Like we tend to, you know.
oh,
what
yeah.
I mean?
Lando doesn't give a fuck, dude. He's Ricky Gervais up there. He walked up on stage and went, well, that was fun. Holy shit, I can't believe any of you are still here.
Wow,
Like,
that's funny.
he fucking laid it down and was like, yeah, all the shit you're feeling in the room, I was feeling back there. My bad, sorry about that.
Yeah.
None of that was my fault. And I respected that, and then he went and just smashed for an hour plus, and it was so great. So I think he's going to be doing some stuff with creepswithkids.com. I don't know if he'll do something that night, but there's discussions about it. So I really hope people come out and support that. That's going to be a fun night, Saturday night. So please, if you got the time and you can make it out.
Over in the Clem.
Yeah, Emerald Theater. So you can figure out how to get tickets, and we gave some tickets away. So it'll be fun. We'll be there having fun, whether you are or not. I don't know. I know people love when we talk sports, Steve.
Seems to be the kryptonite.
Right?
You can't get away from it.
Dude, I got to say, man, you cannot argue with playoff NFL football delivering.
Those were 4 fantastic games this
That
weekend.
was a great weekend. Some lulls.
Usually
sure.
wild card weekend kind of lets down because
Yeah.
there's some teams that probably don't deserve to be there. Games end up being blowouts, things like that. But
Do we have 2 go to overtime? Bills Texans went to overtime.
yeah, and
Was
something
it
else.
Minnesota?
In the Minnesota game, yeah, that was
Minnesota,
the other one
New
that went to overtime.
Orleans. Did not see New Orleans getting bounced.
I
Dude.
thought they would have rolled. I thought
Yeah.
they would have rolled right through there. So makes it easier path, I think, for your Niners.
Maybe.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. Yeah, I didn't want to play the Saints. If I had my choice, I'd be like, yeah, send the Vikings. So next weekend we'll have the Vikings.
Philly and Minnesota would have got by. You would not have been too disappointed.
Yes.
Bound to New Orleans and Seattle right out of it early before you got to see them.
Yeah. Seattle, well, that's just a divisional thing. That's what scares me. Vikings, Niners next Saturday, 4:30. That's the first game. Texans, Ravens at 8:15. Texans with a nice comeback, knocking out the Bills.
Yeah, they were getting shut out for a long time.
That was like 17-0 for a while. Texans at the Chiefs Sunday at 3:05, and then Seahawks Packers Sunday at 6:40. I found it interesting, Carson Wentz. Finally he gets to start in a playoff game. He
Poor
got
guy.
bounced. The couple years.
Well, yeah, it's been a couple of years where you run out, especially even they won the Super Bowl. Nick Foles was his
yeah.
backup, and that's their guy, and he keeps
suck.
missing the playoffs, and
This was his postseason debut.
they finally got shipped Foles out of there, so he's the guy.
He got to play 9 snaps. 9 snaps.
He got crushed. That was kind of a shitty hit, by the way.
Did you see that, by the way, E, at all? You weren't watching, okay. I know you don't. I would highly recommend, I love doing this when you've got big golf events I'll get into it within 3 holes. Like,
Well,
oh
I can
yeah, I'm
get into it.
in.
I'm just not going to spend
The NFL playoffs, these bowl games, I don't even need to know who the teams are. The competition is usually so good, and it's just different. Playoff baseball.
I mean, I actually watched a lot of bowl games in the end, but as far as the NFL, I just don't give a fuck, to be honest with you. Now that New England's out, I'll watch the Super Bowl. I hope that your team wins. Okay.
Come on, root for the Niners.
For you, I hope they win, but that doesn't mean I'm going to
Christ,
watch.
I would root for the Lions for you.
I said I would. I said that's what I'm cheering for.
Will you paint your face and wear a jersey?
No.
Well, if that's a good thing or bad, he's going to root for your
I know,
Niners.
right?
Well, I'm not rooting for them. I guess I'm pulling for them.
What's the
So anyways, 9 snaps. And T, I'm glad you said what you just said. It was a subtle comment. I don't know how many people heard it.
Oh,
When you said kind of a cheap shot.
was a little bit. Is that Clowney?
Jadeveon Clowney, yeah. I thought that was a horrible cheap shot. And I got no interest in either team. Don't care about the
No.
Eagles. I don't care about the Seahawks at all. I thought Jadeveon Clowney, the shot he put on Carson Wentz as Carson Wentz is going down and hits helmet to helmet, smashes Carson Wentz's head into the turf.
Yeah.
And you could tell Carson Wentz was he was seeing little birdies flying
Walking around
his head.
winking. He
Yeah.
was winking.
Seeing him on the sidelines, like, oh man, my head just It's like, oh, that dude's fucking done.
Yeah.
He almost died.
Took him a long time to make sure. So
Gotta say, I think we were both pretty fucking impressed with Josh McCown coming in,
yeah, he's
40 years old.
career backup. Yeah.
Till he blew a hammy
Serviceable.
as an old man. He had an old man injury at the end of the game.
Just threw a ball and was like, oh,
shit.
That'd be like me in the backyard.
It's like
throwing
me and
an arm
T,
out.
every morning I get out of bed and I'm like, yeah. He's like our age. And so he's up there and I was like, oh, do you think it's a serious injury? T goes, yeah, no one touched him. I was like, ooh, those are the bad ones. When you pull
Usually
up
a
limp,
non-contact injury. Usually it's a knee or an Achilles or something. That was just his hammy. I think he just pulled his ass.
Wentz didn't speak to the media afterwards. He went to that little pup tent they throw up on the field, and they're like, "Oh, yeah, concussion protocol." And then I thought it was weird that 9 snaps into his offensive game and in his first postseason game, we're waiting till after halftime. Think about the amount of time from the first quarter to halftime.
They really
4
wanted to
hours?
make sure he couldn't come
Right.
back in. They
Well-
gave him every opportunity
Well,
to
they
come
didn't
back in the
tell
game.
us, like, oh yeah, he's out for the game.
Until after the
turns
half,
out,
yeah.
It was like, yeah, they would have known sooner than that. And I happen to have some inside information. Talking to some people today that maybe you would know.
That may have some familiarity
Dr.
with some
Fiorini.
concussion protocol.
And because I was interested, I was like, would they know? I was like, because I know you got Blink TBI. If you've got those goggles on the sidelines, he knows in 5 seconds. You could send it to Michelle Tafoya on the sidelines in 18 seconds. Michelle, you got an update? Yeah, he's fucked. He almost died. He doesn't even know what stadium he's
Not
in.
coming
He's
back.
done. We knew. They went on his eyelids, and it's over. He's done. Here we are an hour and a half later, and they're like, as soon as we hear word from the locker room, we'll let you know. And I'm like, you fuckers know. You know. And they finally said he's out. And I said, Ryan, when they do that pop-up tent, that little green thing where they bring guys in, whether it's a knee or a concussion, do they know? And he went, yes. They know in the tent whether the guy's fucking done or not.
That's whether he puts his helmet back or he ends up going to the locker room.
And I said, so why do they waste our fucking time, perp walking this guy past all the fucking fans, down the tunnel? He doesn't have his helmet, and he's just like, yeah, I'm coming back. He's thumbs up. And why do they perp walk him out there into the locker and then make us wait for an hour and a half for an update? He said, well, there's protocols in place in the NFL, the NHL. He named a few, all the NCAA, where you have to have special rooms set up that are light sensitive and sound sensitive. So that pop-up tent, they can get an idea, and they know right then. Yeah, he's fucked. He's done. But they have to, technically, by the rules that they've established, bring you back into a light-sensitive room so you don't have any flashing lights. Sound-sensitive, so you can't hear the crowd noise buzzing around you. And so they bring them back there when they do these testings, but they already know. And, fuck, I hope I'm not getting in trouble saying too much here, Ryan. I apologize. I think I was clear about what I was allowed to say or not. But he's like, you'd be amazed at what like the level that goes into that, like what they're looking for. Because you always hear like, yeah, they got buzzed from someone upstairs and they want to take a closer look at him. And I'm like, what does that mean? He said, every NFL team has 2 spotters that are paid independently from the NFL. They're not associated with either team. And their job, they sit in a box upstairs. Binoculars, high-def TVs, they've got the whole works. They've got access to everything, instant replays. They can back shit up. And he said, what you think you're looking at on the field, they're not looking at. They're looking at for very, very specific shit. And I was like, oh, like what? What are they looking for? And he said, they're looking, he said 100% of the time when a guy gets concussed, he will grab his helmet and shift it. He'll readjust his face mask. So when you see that, you go, oh, shit. And I said, I fucking knew it. Like, guys grabbing the crown of their helmet, they can't feel their head. Like, if you pull up a hammy, you grab the hammy behind your leg, right? You can't grab, you want to grab your head because something doesn't feel right, but you're like, you got a headache on your temples. You want to rub your temples, not the crown of your fucking helmet.
All you got?
That's all you got. And so they do that. And he said, so when they see guys adjust their face mask, trying to readjust their face mask, that's a real sign. Keep an eye on that guy. They'll immediately rewind, see what happened, what the hit was like. Was it helmet to helmet? The other thing they're looking at, T, is when a guy, like after the fact, you know, there might maybe a play or two goes, and then they go, yeah, they want to take a look at Matt Stafford. They pull him. You know, we've seen that a couple times,
right? They come back after the fact.
After the fact, they're like, oh,
you can get up pretty quick and fool them and get right back in, and then you come stumbling out of the huddle or whatever happens.
The refs are paying attention, and they're looking at guys for some of those, like.
Because Wentz stayed in, did he not? He was in the game for. I'm not sure exactly how he came out.
That might have been end of a drive. He went out. I knew when I saw the highlight on the sideline of him, like, fuck. He was not.
Because they showed him back in, like, under center trying to get his shit together. That's when he was, like, winking. He was.
The winking.
Yeah, but he was still in the game at that point. They didn't immediately take him out.
So I said, first off, let's establish, if this was 5 years ago, does Carson Wentz come back in that game?
Probably, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep.
He says, of course he does. Of course he does. 20 years ago, even worse. He's
there wasn't a
hero
spotlight on it.
for coming back in that game. But he said the other thing they're looking at is these trainers know these players so well that they know mistakes they might make. And so they're looking at shit like a guy runs a 10-yard out, but he was supposed to run a 15-yard out. They go, all right, get him off the field. He fucked that play up so bad. We need to take another look at him. Like,
he can run. He can look good.
He's out there.
But he's not doing what he's supposed to do.
He's not wobbly, but he blew that fucking play call so bad. We need to take another look at him. So it's, you know, it's not just the glassy-eyed, wobbly guy or the guy that was blacked out for a minute. They're that in tune.
Ones.
Yeah. They're that dialed in and in tune with these guys as individual people that they know. Like,
it's good to know because a lot of that probably goes missed, undetected. You know.
Yeah.
The hit on the other side, or you don't notice that knee that came across a guy's head at the end of the play and rung his bell. If you don't see it and you're not looking for it, you're not paying attention to it. So it's nice to know that they have the spotters, and I'm sure it'll get more and more involved from here. It was at least a good start.
When I was talking to him about that, I was like, I still felt a little like, fuck. When you're talking about a lawsuit, like it's third party, independent lawsuit, when it's like NBC has hired a third party to come in and do independent research on the unwoke culture or the sexual perversion at the company. You know, Matt Lauer's fucking everybody on staff. And they go do an independent investigation. They're supposed to not have any connection with the company. For the NFL in this, they might not have player or team connections, but it's still NFL paid for, and I don't know who would pay for it otherwise. But when you get into these playoff games, like, that's a big deal. Carson Wentz came out of that game, right?
Huge.
Starting quarterback, 4-game winning streak, starting to pull something together, close game. He goes out of it. You know, I was comfortable personally with McNown. Most people wouldn't be, and I understand why. There's a real incentive to be like, look, motherfucker, this is a playoff game. It's our starting fucking quarterback.
And a couple years ago, that probably would have happened. Yeah,
So-
but your backup linebacker, it's easy to take a guy out for the game when it's your starting quarterback. And that was my thought all along of why it took so long.
Yeah.
That they gave him every fucking opportunity to get his shit together and to pass the test or whatever it was going to take, that maybe he would have been able to come back out after halftime and play again.
Which is weird, too, because he's such a God guy. He's this, like, super God guy. You know, front row, hand in the air. Oh, feeling Jesus' love. Yeah. But God was not looking out for him. Yep. It's like, dude, it's the biggest moment in his career. Finally. And God's like, nah, eat a dick, man. Enjoy the fucking tent. Enjoy the locker room, son of a bitch. So I'm like, God, come on, look out for the guys. He brags about you more than Priest.
There might have been someone else on the other team.
Yeah, that's more into it. Maybe God's a Seattle fan.
Well, Russell Wilson. Maybe Russell Wilson's more into God than Carson Wentz. You think that's possible? You outprayed him?
Maybe it's collectively of the whole team. Maybe one guy. You know, there could be many more guys that.
Well, I know
go out in that little circle on their knee after the game and pray together.
Well, Seattle did have a pretty strong prayer circle after the game. I did see that.
It's a collective. It's not
and
not
God
just
keeps
one.
track, probably.
Of course.
It's a checklist. Well, I know so-and-so didn't take a knee. Fuck him. We'll get back to this later. I remember everything. We'll circle back to this, sir. God bless. But I saw that he sent a message out. He didn't do a.
That must be exhausting, man. There's a lot of boring shit that humans do. Does he have to watch all of that?
Yeah, he does, dude.
I mean, a lot.
He's like
of shit,
Santa
dude.
Claus. He knows when you've been naughty. He knows when you've been nice.
He's got spotters
Sees
like
when
the
you've been good
NFL
or
to keep
bad.
an eye
So
on
be good,
people.
for goodness sake, But yeah, dude, he's the one that bragged he could see everything all the time. And he hears all your prayers. So I don't want to hear it if it's getting overwhelming now.
Wait, did he actually brag about that? I'm not sure it was him.
Well, someone told us he bragged.
Well, yeah.
But
Say a lot of stuff.
it's like he comes out afterwards and he's got a positive message. He went to Instagram. So dang, he can't say damn. That would be something that pissed God off, right?
Yeah.
So dang proud of this team and how we battled and overcame so much this season. Not the ending we envisioned, but we will all grow and be stronger because of it. The fight and resiliency that this team displayed was so impressive. Love these guys. Also appreciate the thoughts and prayers. I didn't know anyone actually appreciated thoughts and prayers.
Yeah, for sure.
When you're on that end of them, I
Yeah,
think you
you
do.
definitely do.
Okay.
Why not?
I have.
Take every little bit. I could really give a shit, but I'll take every little bit of help I can get if I'm in a bad
You
situation.
don't care about tapas, dude. Stop it. You just don't, T. If 50 people go, thoughts and prayers.
No, I don't.
minute, it's not-
But hey, it's better than nothing, I would say.
I-
It's better than
I
50
would-
people going, hey, fuck him, I hope he dies.
Yeah, I mean, I would disagree. Like, just appreciating them and caring about them are two different things. Like, like when things like my cat died early this year, and people
Tapas ya?
reach out and say something like, I don't sit there and think, oh my God, this is, whatever. But
Okay, I didn't mean to be unwoke. So he could legitimately
I think
appreciate those thoughts and prayers.
yeah, it doesn't mean that, though, to me, like I said, it doesn't
didn't
He can
work,
especially.
but-
He can
No.
especially.
So he appreciates everyone's thoughts and prayers. Hate not being out there to finish it out with my guys because of a play like that, but it's the unfortunate part of the game. It's all in God's plan, not mine. Trusting in Him. And I love Bill Burr's one take on that when people say, hey, God's plan, what are you going to do? I want to stand up and just smack him straight across the face and go, fuck you do that for? I don't know. Ask your guy. It's part of his plan.
He told me to do it.
Yeah. I don't know. It's part of God's master plan. That's why I pissed in your face.
There was a great scene about it and about that in Always Sunny this year. I wish I could. I don't remember what episode it was, but there was a very good scene between Mac and Dennis.
On Philadelphia.
Yeah, kind of involving that, and it was anyway. I can't say more than that because what am I going to do? Find it and play a clip, I guess. But it was really
Spoiler
funny
alert.
if you haven't been watching
Sure.
Always Sunny. It was a good season this year.
It's a good show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They go on. Carson Wentz, Josh McCown said, has put a ton into the season to get to this moment, especially the things he's gone through. It's a tough call, but he's sitting there not feeling right. Obviously knew he needed to get checked. I think for the state of our game and the questions that come around those types of injuries, I think that's a step forward. It's progress because it's the right thing. He was smart by getting checked and doing those things and making sure he was all right. Yeah, that's not his call, Josh. No offense, but Carson Wentz was not making that call. He was being dragged to the tent in the locker room, whether he wanted to make that call or not.
Yeah, I do think that was a dirty shot. I'm surprised they didn't come back and either look at it or find him maybe after or something along those lines.
I know I saw a lot of talking heads in the NFL going, that's the game, it's a clean hit, blah, blah, blah. I thought it was a fucking dirty as shit hit. I think he was clearly going down Jadeveon Clowney, whether he meant to hurt him or not. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what was in his heart. That shot was not necessary, and I would have been every bit as comfortable with a fine or a suspension.
That's why I was
for that
after
hit,
the fact
honestly.
that maybe you weren't going to get something out of that. But sorry when they don't penalize it at the time. But
Yeah. I mean, and it sucks. Carson Wentz was having a good run, and
That's what they're trying to
making shit
avoid
happen.
is the not just getting
Right.
people hurt, but it's that extra. Like you didn't have to do that. That let's play hard, let's hit when you got to hit. But
Yeah.
there's times when you don't have to give that extra, and that was one where he kind of
Yeah.
went down and gave him the business.
Yeah, he did, and there were a few plays like that I think they got wrong, where it was like, hey man, that was an unnecessary, absolute push to the ground where a guy's head bounced off the ground. If you're trying to prevent those types of actions from happening, where a guy's head smashes off the ground, we all know what that looks like, and it always looks bad. Then you know what? When a guy's running full speed and he's going out of bounds, you shouldn't be able to fucking throw him down and I think they missed a few of those. I don't think they've gotten that balance right yet.
Not really. They've missed a few, and I feel like they've called some that probably
Yeah.
weren't totally justified.
Yeah.
Hey, we got roofed up proper the other day. Our new shingles are looking sweet, man. Our boys over at Arnold Roofing, a listener-owned business that serves Southeast Michigan and surrounding areas since 1998. They specialize in repairs, replacements, and new roofs. Arnold Roofing has the experience and knowledge to provide you with a reliable product backed by quality workmanship and extensive warranties. No money down, and you pay upon completion. That means Arnold Roofing is dedicated to your complete satisfaction. So go to arnoldroofing.com for free estimates and more information, or call 248-634-0198.
Lastly, I didn't know that this was going to happen, but Tua, Alabama quarterback, declared for the draft today,
Yep.
which is probably really good news for the Lions, sitting at the number 3 pick. You've got Washington and Cincinnati. Cincinnati at 1, Washington at 2, Detroit at 3. Tua was, the consensus number 1 pick for a long time, Alabama quarterback. And then he had the hip injuries, had a couple ankle injuries. So there's some questions there. Obviously, Joe Burrow is going to be the number 1 pick by Cincy in the draft. And a lot of people think that Chase Young
Probably goes to
Washington. to Washington, Ohio State defensive end, which every team needs. The Lions would love to have a Chase Young. They could certainly use his skill set. And then with that quarterback off the board, there's going to be a lot of interest in Tua, which the Lions don't really need. They're not in the need or market for. They want to win now, so they're better off with Stafford. They're not going to take Tua at 3. But there's a lot of teams down the road that need him. This could be interesting. Him declaring changes a lot of shit, and the Lions could have now the most tradable pick, whether they move down 2 slots and pick up someone else's number 1 for the next year or number 2 for that year, because you've got a few teams sitting there, the Chargers, Dolphins, Panthers.
There's no
almost
chance in hell,
5 through
dude.
7 picks.
They're doing picks for future, dude. Those 2 guys in that office.
Yeah, they
to
need
win
it now. Well,
No. But I'm saying if you don't need the value at 3 with Tua, you've lost out on Chase Young, for instance, if Washington takes that, which a lot of people think they will. You're sitting with this 3 pick that 4, 5, 6, and 7
they might
all need a quarterback and would kill to have Tua. Those guys might be willing to sell the farm to trade up 1 slot, 2 slots, 3 slots.
there's a lot of questions with him too, though. He was,
Yeah.
I don't know that anybody necessarily takes him that high. I think he slips, but the hell do I know? We'll see how he rehabs and how his combines go and stuff like that. But the Lions absolutely don't need him, and I don't really know enough to know what's available. They do need more than just 1 person, that's for sure. So if they can parlay that number 3 into some other picks.
Dude, that's the position you want to be in this in any draft, though, is where
The
you've
Raiders
got
did that,
multiple teams behind you.
Even Miami
that
just
want,
did that.
Yeah, that want where you sit. And if you can go, all right, all 4 of you teams want it, what's it worth to you? And they're like, we'll give you our number 1, which is 2 picks from now. We'll give you our number 1 next year and a number 2. And you go,
Yeah, I don't know.
Can you
that
beat
Tua's
that?
worth that, though.
Well, we'll see. I'm just saying. I'm not saying anything except it presents an interesting thing. Tua declaring, which was not a foregone conclusion. Like he could have easily gone back to college for another year.
and I think that's
this
why.
This just presents an interesting spot. Had the Lions won on Sunday, like they were trying to do, and you were like, "You motherfuckers, how dare you!" Had the Lions won that game on Sunday against Green Bay, this would be a moot point. I'm just saying. Come April, I know it's a ways away. This Tua declaring for the NFL and the Lions sitting where they are, instantly presents the Lions probably with the most interesting draft pick in that first round.
Yeah, the first
So
two are
it's something-
foregone conclusion, I would
Yeah,
imagine. You're not going to pass on
something
either
to be
of those
excited
two.
about if you're a Lions fan.
Hopefully.
Lastly, Brady, and we'll wrap it up here. T, thank you again for coming in. I really appreciate it. I know there's lots of questions, and you guys are being bugged about shit, and so am I. I thank you guys for all the help and coming in here and putting on the best show you can, usually, and just being pros. I appreciate it. It's not lost on me, and I know most of the audience appreciates the shit out of it too. But Tom Brady has dropped his mansion by $8 million, so
Oh,
he
he
seems
really wants to get out
very
now.
ready to sell. And just
What's the
him and
asking price
Giselle,
that you can just drop $8 million?
33.9 now.
Holy shit.
Yeah. So $8 million right off the top of the original asking price. So I don't know, 20 years there. What do you think this house has? So 5 bedrooms, 5 bathrooms. Okay.
That's it?
3-car garage, stoned carport. I don't want a fucking high as shit carport.
you don't
What is a stoned carport? Is that a 420 carport?
I mean,
Is it?
A 3-car garage
What do you-
and a carport?
Yeah.
Was that?
It can, by the way, the driveway can handle to up to 20 vehicles.
Okay. I would think you'd have more than just 3 in a garage.
Also got a pool,
Of course.
wine
Giselle.
room, gym, spa, herb garden. Who doesn't love a lovely herb garden?
Gotta grow that kale.
A detached barn-inspired guest house. Looks like when Tom's like, I got to get away from this psycho supermodel, he just goes out to this guest barn house and can do whatever he wants.
Slash man cave.
Yeah. There's even a yoga studio with walls that open to provide more air circulation and a Zen-like experience. We all could use a good Zen-like experience. And it's right next door to a private golf course. 30-year fixed mortgage. There you go. There it is.
Oh. 33 million, huh?
Now.
Now, it's dropped to 33?
Yeah, it's dropped to 33,
Oh,
man.
shit. I thought it was 33 down to 25.
So here's what you need. So if anyone out there is interested, I can put you in touch with the
But that money better come with Giselle.
It does not come with Giselle T.
Bullshit.
Hey, you can negotiate anything. If he wants to get out of town bad enough, maybe I'll give you Giselle for a year.
Yeah, I'd take that.
Okay. A 30-year fixed on this at 3.7%, which is fair.
Yeah. Well, hope they're going to have some tier 1 credit going in for a $33 million house.
Well, $146,815 a month.
Okay.
I mean, obviously, after you put 6.8 million down payment down.
Yeah.
So once you put 6.8 mil down,
Why would you only put 6.8 down?
I don't know. Take it up with the owner.
Oh, all right.
You put down 6.8, and then they'll let you have it for 146,815 a month. So
I'm looking for the stone carport. Is that in
That's it
between?
right there.
I think that's
Well,
it. No, that's not
that's
the
not a
carport. That's the driveway that
So
can
there's three
handle
there's
20
three
cars.
so I
garages.
think that's what it is.
That's
I got to be honest though, the pool.
Oh, stone like ground. Oh, okay. Why wouldn't you pave that?
Look, I don't want to be a
There's a lot
dick.
of
I don't know how
weird
many
shit going
pictures
on
you
here.
have to showcase here. The pool
Oh,
appears a bit small, and I'm not saying it's an above ground pool, but
I would not call this an above ground. I mean,
all
I
right.
get
Well,
what you're saying.
there might be
but-
multiple pools. That's an above ground pool.
Yeah, but dude, that's
T.
like that's like
T.
freaking marble, dude. And shit.
it is a very fancy above ground pool,
It's the
but by
fanciest
definition,
above-ground
it
pool.
is an
McCool,
above
I can see
ground
you.
pool.
Come here, look at this.
Well, it's like an infinity pool, maybe. Or,
I think
Yeah.
McCool's on the other side of the curtain. McCool, if you can hear me, come in here. Is this an above ground pool?
it's got to be.
I mean, come on, man.
But I did. But that's
Exactly.
what?
It's
That's
the
what-
fanciest.
It's a nice one, but it's still an above ground
Get
pool.
on a microphone. Cool. Get on a microphone.
Which one do you want me on?
Right there, the green one.
Verde.
The one he's talking in.
Come here, sit on my lap. We'll share this one.
I mean, it's not, but it is, sort of.
It is in a way.
I mean, if it buttered up to an ocean, fine.
It definitely is. It is on two sides. I mean, come on. But it's kind of off of like a cliff or something.
I wonder if
It's
it's like no. It looks like it's just a yard. From the other pictures, like there's not really anything.
actually,
there.
no. Yeah, you're right, T. Because it does kind of come up right there. It looks.
I wonder
like.
if it's one of those that puts like the current out that you can swim against it or any of that stuff, or like
It's-
something
Maybe.
cool like you put.
It doesn't look so
glass
small
cover
there, though,
comes
man.
off
It
and
looks
you-
kinda-
No, it looks kind of huge there. Yeah. I get that. All right, fine.
Look at that place.
I'll give Brady the benefit of the doubt that he knows what an in-ground pool looks like, but half that pool is above ground. That's all I'm saying.
Is that the carport right there on the left?
Yeah,
maybe
probably.
That's maybe that's the one. So it was a 3-car garage and then a carport,
God damn.
stone carport.
Well, how,
See
35? Is that what he said?
33 million
33?
now.
Yeah, the low
See that?
price.
See that castle point at the top? I think that's where he makes out with his son. Remember that
the
video?
lookout in case anybody's coming.
Fuck. It's the creepiest video ever. Anyway, all right.
badass.
Thanks, Mike. I needed your input there.
Yeah, no problem.
Appreciate
Let
it.
it go.
in.
How you guys doing?
Good.
T, do you have another read to do? We got.
I do. Hey, let me slam this in there because our good buddy Kyle Mayer wants me to tell you that if you dread doing your bookkeeping and accounting for your business, let Kyle Mayer handle it for you. Kyle is a pro who you can trust, so spend more time on your core business and leave those awful, annoying accounting, bookkeeping tasks to Kyle. Call him today at 248-521-0016. Tell him the Detroit cast you, and Kyle will save you 10% on all his good stuff.
Thank you, T. Lastly, we'll end it with this. Mike McCool, obviously, we are all enemies. The Detroit Cast and Radio from One Studios and Grind Time.
Man. It wasn't me.
If you look at people online, obviously, the whole thing's falling apart because Grind Time is left and whatnot. I want people to know that Darren and I have never been on better terms ourselves personally. And you've been working with that show for a while. How are things going? Everything good?
Yeah, it's going great over there, man. I think everybody's going to really enjoy it.
Yeah.
That's good. Good to hear.
I hope
Yeah.
so, and I look forward to it.
I miss this place, though, man, to be honest with you.
You got an open invite
cozy.
anytime, man. You know that. So thank you for stopping by. We'll talk here
man.
after the
Yeah,
show.
absolutely.
T-Roy, love having you on, brother.
My pleasure.
We will keep everybody updated as much as we can. Isis, love you too, kid. Thank you for being here. And we'll be back tomorrow. And, I guess we'll leave you there. And have a good rest of the day, everybody. Thanks for listening.
You've been listening to the Detroit Cast with your hosts, Mike and Jay. From all of us at Radio for One Studios, thank you for listening. And as always, thank you, Detroit.